Hey guys, welcome to another drone buzz video. In this video I'm gonna cover the issue with the T-Motor flight controller. This one is a T-Motor F7 Pro, and the issue with it is that Backbox does not work with INAV. So if you use Betaflight, it'll work fine with Betaflight, but as soon as you go to INAV, it doesn't work. And the reason is because from what I understood is that it's got the wrong pinout to figure out where the flash is, the 16 megabyte flash that has on there. It has actually the wrong pin output for the chip on board here. So because of that, INAV doesn't pick up that there is any memory. So if you have this issue and you can't figure out why your black box not working, I'll show you how to make it work. So the programmers at INAV have a fix. The reason there is a fix is because when I couldn't get mine to work, I reached out to Facebook groups first, and then I ended up on the Discord server for INAV, and from there some of the coders that are on the server picked up on it and then looked into it and realized there was something wrong with the code. So they updated it and they sent out a hex file to upload to the INAV configurator and actually make it work. So what I'm going to do is I have the link to download the hex file. It's a Google Drive link in the description, or you can go right to the INAV and it should be there. So, but I figured I'll give you a link so it'll be easier for you to find it and download it. So I'll show you what yours probably looks like right now. If you take your quad, it's a 7-inch quad. I will plug it in. And then once you're plugged in, you see like when you go in there on the INAV, when you connect, everything is working. Quad, everything works just the way however you have it set up. But as soon as you go into Backbox and you turn it on, you get all the options to use a Backbox. But when you go to the box that says onboard flash chip, it actually doesn't show you how much space you have on there. That usually it tells you if you have like 8 megabytes, 16 megabytes, or whatever space is on the flight controller. But here you can see it's just a line and it doesn't tell you the space because of the wrong pinout. It doesn't actually know where to find that data. So what you do is before you update, you go to your CLI and then you put in diff all. If you know how to do that, obviously you've probably done it already. What it does is that whatever modification you've done to the configurator for your quad, it'll pop up on there, and all you do is you click on copy to clipboard. It says copy it. So what you should do is paste it somewhere, just in case you kind of copy paste something else and you don't lose it all. So paste that somewhere. I usually put it into a text file because that's exactly what it is. And then once that's done, you're gonna disconnect, and then you're gonna go to the link to download the hex file. And when you reconnect, you have to do it. If you have a drone, you have to do like I do, use a tool onto the drone to put the chip in Dfu mode. If you're just holding the flight controller in your hand, just hold it with a finger, much easier. So I'm gonna press this button here and I'm gonna plug it in right there. Perfect. So now, as you can see in the corner, it should say Dfu mode. Let's see if it's staying Dfu. It is not, so I did not do it right. So I'm gonna unplug it again. And then I press the button, the Dfu mode, plug it in. There, now it should work. Perfect. So now you see in the corner it says Dfu, so it's ready. So you do not press connect or anything. You go to firmware flasher, just like you've done before, where you do like everybody else does it. You click and you select whatever board you want, and that's how you normally update it. And then you go to the latest version. So there's only one target for a T-Motor flight controller. So you probably picked that before, and then you picked the latest version and updated it, but then Backbox didn't work. So what you do is on that link below in a comment, you download it, in the description I should say, you download the hex file, and instead of loading from online like you usually would do, you go load locally instead. And then from there you go into your downloads, and you should see the hex file right there. You can see my downloads, and you go open. As soon as it's open, you see the flash firmware button lights up, and so now it's ready to flash with the new INAV with that fix. So I'm gonna press flash firmware, so and full chip erase as well. And then now it's gonna erase it and restart it with the fix. So we'll give it a second here, and then when it's done, we'll show you how to reflash it. So if you're starting your build from scratch, then once you plug it in after the update, you'd have to do your setup as you usually would do. But if you use your diff all and then copy paste it, then you can just paste that back in to get all your settings to come back to whatever you had it. So you'll see this here as soon as this is done updating. Perfect, so successful. So what you do from there, you can straight go into connect, and it's gonna go right there into the flight. So it tells you, see, if we're starting from scratch. So we're gonna pick mini quad, and then it's gonna reboot it and put all the settings for a mini quad for INAV. Once it's done rebooting, then we're gonna go into the CLI and then paste it. So right now, if you look in the corner, I got gyro, axle, and baro. That's it. None of my other stuff is working. It's telling me that the mixer is not configured. So if you go down to CLI, you paste that in quickly, hit enter, and then it's gonna re-upload everything and reboot automatically. And after that, when that's done, it's gonna to then we're gonna check out Backbox. So Backbox should work right away. You don't have to upload your diff file or anything like that. It's just, it makes it easier to set up. So now you can see everything came back with the diff file, all the different then you go to Backbox, and now everything's the same except for it tells you that it's got, this one has a 14.3 megabyte free space remaining out of the 16, and it's got 1.7 megabytes used up from a flight I've done. So now it's working. So now you're good to go, and you can see how your flight performed and tweak your filters and your PIDs accordingly and go from there. So if you have any more questions about this, please leave a comment below, and then I'll answer it right away. You can also go to the INAV server. It's you don't have to be invited. As soon as you go to the INAV GitHub, you have access to the Discord server if you have any in-depth questions, and then I put that also in the links below. And then that's all you need to know to get you going with the Backbox working on the T-Motor F7 Pro flight controller. So thank you for watching, and then we'll see you guys in the next video.